I lead a team of young people who are experts in working with youth, and part of the important part of working with youth is helping families know what they can do to prepare their young adults to enter work or post-secondary education. And we spend a lot of time talking to folks about how to help their children leave the entitlement system, which is what special education is, and enter a system of eligibility. It's so important for young people to learn to speak about what they need and what they want so that they can learn to advocate for themselves. We have a couple of products that we've worked on that have been really successful, really well received. The one that many people are probably familiar with is called the 411 on disclosure. It's a workbook that youth use to sort of work through how do I learn to talk about my disability, if it's a visible or non-visible disability. How do I use this in a social setting? You know, children grow up and they want a date, and maybe they can't read the menu, but they don't really want to tell their date right away because maybe they really like this person and want to impress this person. So how do they go on a date and pretend like they can read the menu and later come back and say, you know, I prepared for our date and I read the menu ahead of time, or I had someone read it to me, or I looked it up online. So there's a lot of techniques that people can use to learn to disclose, and it's important that the youth own that disclosure. And so we have a new document that's come out, a new addition to our 401 disability disclosure guide called the Cyber Disclosure, and it talks about how young people can prepare their online portfolio so that they put their best foot or face forward. One of the neat things about this new tool is it gives you and the young person a checklist of things that they can do and to think about. Another toolkit that we have that just came out, which I am really excited about, is our personal assistant services toolkit. Again, I think a big part for young people as they transition to adulthood is about framing their disability in a positive way. Really, a disability doesn't have to be a negative thing. Many people, of course, view it negatively, but it's really an asset, because if I'm a young person and I have a personal assistant who I've managed on my own or with the help of my family, then I have a skill set that bosses would probably like, which is I know how to communicate what I want and get what I need. One of the things I think is so important as young people begin their transition to adulthood is for them to think about what they want to be when they grow up. And for me, that was a really hard thing to think about, because all I knew was what my parents did, and I knew I didn't want to do what they did. But they had equipped me with some great skills very early on that helped me transition well, I think, to adulthood. Along with one of those, of course, was this ability to ask and make decisions for myself. And as a mom of 2 young children, I know that it's hard to give your children that choice because you want them to be protected and safe. And I'm sort of learning that it might be multiplied if you have a child with a disability, that need to protect them and keep them safe is even stronger feeling.